In this WrestleTalk news, WWE's Bray Wyatt plans revealed, a weird WWE New Japan crossover, a reason why Brock Lesnar returned, and more. Subscribe and enable notifications to always on for daily wrestling news videos, or I'll get that dog that won that wrestling match to beat you up too. Oh no, you don't want to anger the big dog, because you'll be entering his yard for a boneyard match, or maybe inside the Dalmatian chamber to take on the K9-time champion. Watch out for its signature move, the Rough Rider, or the Pedigree. That's right, you're just all bark and no bite. You should get released from your contract. Please subscribe, I'm going through some hard times right now.
Support WrestleTalk!
Saturday's Extreme Rules Premium Live event ended on one of the trippiest wrestling returns of all time, as Bray Wyatt came back to WWE, seemingly with his former Firefly Funhouse puppets come hideously to human cosplay life. And even having one of the best wrestling angles of the year can't outrun your own father's dad jokes on Twitter. IRS Mike Rotunda, who is Bray's real-life dad, has congratulated his son while also delivering some sage financial advice, posting, "Great to see my son back in WWE, but nobody is safe come April. Better have those taxes in order, Bray. Hashtag pay up." Oh no, don't worry about it. I'm totally sure WWE's accounting practices are perfectly in order, IRS. Oh. Despite being the hottest thing in wrestling right now, Bray was nowhere to be seen on Monday's episode of Raw. Instead, we got another QR code tease, a distorted promo of Bray's voice shouting, "Revel in what you are," and just in case that confused people too much, a direct video package asking, "What does Bray have in store?" pushing people towards this Friday's episode of SmackDown. This is because, according to PW Insider, Bray Wyatt is officially listed as part of the SmackDown roster backstage in the company, and he is currently only slated for appearances on the SmackDown brand. Bray was a Raw superstar before he was released in July 2021. His last appearance on SmackDown was him beating Kevin Owens on the 9th of October 2020 episode, marking almost exactly 2 years since he last featured on the show. While the brand split divide has become a lot softer in recent months, with Raw and SmackDown stars frequently appearing across both shows, storyline feuds do tend to be contained within the brands. This might give us a clue as to who Bray could first feud with, and who the speculated Wyatt Six faction could be made up of. In terms of wrestlers who could be Bray's first feud/victim, there's only really Braun Strowman, Drew McIntyre, Karrion Kross, Gunther, Sheamus, Roman Reigns, or Shinsuke Nakamura. Wyatt often likes to play off shared history in his feuds, singling out Strowman and Reigns then as most likely. Who do you think Bray could have his first feud with? Let me know in the comments. And maybe there's another returning Wyatt family member who could also be part of that story. Thanks for your support on Patreon, the British Bulldog Philip Boy J. Smith Jr. and WrestleTalk's personal ring announcer, Rodrigo Benitez. You too can get your own shout out by going to patreon.com/WrestleTalk. With so many released WWE stars being contacted for comebacks in the last few months, reportedly regardless of whether they're already under multi-year deals with a rival promotion, there's one name who was let go in the first batch of April 2020 releases who hasn't been brought up, despite his connections to the original Wyatt family faction. Eric Rowan, currently Eric Redbeard, has continued to wrestle around the American independent scene and has occasionally appeared for AEW in featured roles, most prominently the Brody Lee tribute episode and standing in for an injured Rey Fenix in the Death Triangle vs House of Black match at Revolution 2022. Because my first thought to replace the high-octane lucha style of Rey Fenix is Eric Redbeard. His most recent AEW appearance came as Beardhausen, teaming with Danhausen in a losing effort to the Gun Club on the 10th of August Rampage. But now he's revealed in an interview with NBC Sports Boston that signing with AEW was never a conversation, and even if there was, he likely wouldn't have taken a spot there out of respect to Brody Lee's memory, meaning he is one of the bigger named free agents currently out there. Do you want to see Eric Rowan rejoin Bray in WWE? Let me know in the comments. And he's not the only person returning, because we've already had Brock Lesnar making his latest comeback to the company. But why now, you might ask? It's quite easy. There's a Saudi Arabia show in a few weeks' time. But actually, why specifically that episode of Raw? According to Andrew Zarian, the USA Network, the channel that airs Raw, felt like Lesnar's shock return on Monday was a make good for not getting Bray on their brand following all the buzz from Extreme Rules. Overall, both USA and WWE are very happy with the direction of Raw, as they should be, as the season premiere edition of the show pulled in its highest viewership in over a month, aka since the latest football season started. They received a 14% bump on the previous week to 1.82 million viewers, with a huge 0.55 in the all-important 18 to 49 demographic. The last best episode was the 5th of September episode of Raw, which was the show after Clash at the Castle. It's almost like post-pay-per-view bumps were always a thing, it's just WWE always screwed it up. But Lesnar wasn't the only surprise on the show. We also got the return of Quizzlemania champions, the Good Brothers, in an excellent "I wasn't talking about you" AJ Styles reveal to reunite the OC. Just like how PW Insider reported Wyatt will be a SmackDown star going forward, they write Gallows and Anderson will be on the Raw brand going forward. According to Fightful, WWE have actually had interest in bringing the Good Brothers back in as early as this summer, while they were still under contract with Impact Wrestling, which I'm sure WWE had no idea about. They were just asking. That would have made them one of the first returns of the Triple H era. Apparently, Gallows and Anderson were very transparent about WWE's interest in them, which probably translates as, "They told everyone over a few brewskis, brother," but their Impact runs ended up a month longer than expected, potentially stretching out the AJ Styles Judgment Day story. But there's a curious wrinkle in the Gallows and Anderson return story, as Carl actually still holds the Never Openweight Championship from another promotion. New Japan's WWE confirmed. Carl Anderson is currently the reigning Never Openweight champion in New Japan Pro Wrestling, which is why them appearing on Monday's Raw was such a surprise. Rumours about their return had already been circulating, but everyone assumed they would make their WWE comeback after November 5th's Battle Autumn in Osaka show, where Anderson would then drop his title to Hikuleo. In the past, WWE has allowed wrestlers to finish up already announced dates for other companies. This could be just a case of that, with PW Insider and the Wrestling Observer both writing that's what they expect to happen. However, PW Insider does also note there are some who see New Japan Pro Wrestling plugging their WWE return on New Japan's social media as a sign the two companies were working together. And Fightful adds there's uncertainty over Gallows and Anderson working future New Japan dates, as they had previously said they had committed to wrestling up until January's Wrestle Kingdom show. I'm gonna let speculation and mania run wild here. Even before Triple H took over WWE Creative, Nick Khan was trying to broker a working relationship with New Japan to shut AEW out. Of course, that didn't happen, and AEW put on the very successful Forbidden Door collaboration show with them. They have maintained a talent-sharing deal since, with stars like Ishii and Ospreay frequently appearing on AEW TV. So, if I was in Triple H's position, the noted cerebral assassin, that's the exact kind of relationship I'd want to undermine and force some cracks into. New Japan's management culture, though, is very slow to change. They stuck with Ring of Honor as their American partner of choice for years despite its decline in popularity, and they are fiercely loyal to CMLL over AAA in Mexico. WWE letting Gallows and Anderson continue to work with New Japan could be the first olive branch extended between the promotions. Do you think New Japan would ever turn heel/face, depends whose side you on, and would ever work with WWE? Let me know in the comments. Possibly the biggest WWE return this year, though, is Naughty Words. As seen at the end of Extreme Rules, during Bray's return segment, Philadelphia likes to chant Holy S-word very loudly. The Good Brothers' return to help AJ on Raw also received the Naughty chant, which unfortunately had to be censored. This led Andrew Zarian to reveal WWE would prefer not to have to mute chants like this, as it was one of the reasons behind wanting to go TV-14. WWE has been rated PG since 2008, but in July, Zarian first reported there were discussions to make it more risque. That was back when Vince was in charge, though. There's not been any mention of it since he resigned. How about some AEW news? Yep, it's backstage fighting again. MJF has revealed exactly what happened when he no-showed the fan signing earlier this year. Watch on to find out more.
In this WrestleTalk news, MJF explains his signing no-show at Double or Nothing, Gallows and Anderson's status following their WWE return, Luke's review of Raw, and more.